Okay. Uh, I'm Hirsha.
And I'm Nathan.
We're gonna explain the C++ task that yang dikasih. Okay, so the first exercise, uh, this one is include IOStream with we call the library for this code and using them std so we don't have to use std in this cout like this. So the first one we're gonna put in main without any variable inside it because this is the main code for this program. Inside integer main, we have integer a and b, which gonna be the number for this program because the exercise asks us to input two number. So, well, can you explain this cout scene?
Then we're gonna write this cout insert number one. So the user will insert number, integer number, the first integer, and then on the line number 7, there is C input to A. That means when the user input number, it will input inserted into A. So do like line 8 and 9.
Okay. Then after the user input both of the number, it's gonna do if A same like B, that's why there's two equals. We're gonna print out cout number are same. For example, wait. For example, if we have the same number for A and B, the print are gonna numbers are same.
And then if after the check A and B is not the same number, there's another if. We call it as nested if. If A bigger than B, then it will print it out the biggest number is A. And if A is not bigger than B, it will print out the biggest number is B.
After that, the if is ended and print the last code which is cout end line and thank you. End line and thank you will be executed no matter what happened in this if else if. Okay, that's it for exercise one. You can test it with this. Let's say the first number is 5 and the second number is 2. The biggest number is 5. Okay, thank you.
Okay. So in exercise 2, we will write down include IOStream. So it will call the it will gonna be stand for library and using namespace std, so we don't have to write down on the next line. This is the integer main, and there's empty because the main of this number 4 line is on the fifth and else.
Okay, so after we write the integer main, we put two variable in it because the exercise want us to input two numbers. So we're gonna write integer a and b like before. This cout and scene line 6 and 7 is the input for a, same like 8 and 9 is input for b. And we go to the number 10. If a module 2 equals 0, b module 2 equals 0, which is even, so it's gonna print out there is no odd number.
And for the other nested if, we write down if a modulo 2 not equal 0 and b modulo 2 equals 0, the biggest it will print out the biggest odd number is a. And the other if a modulo 2 equal to 0 and b modulo 2 not equal to 0, it will print out the biggest odd number is b. and else if the last if a modulo 2 not equal 0 and also b, then we will check it again. Does a larger than b or not? If a larger than b, then it will print out the biggest odd number is a, and uh, if a not bigger than b, it will print out the biggest odd number is b.
Okay, we can check the code. So let's just say the first number is even and the second number is odd. It's gonna print out the odd number. If both are odd number, let's say the first one is 3 and the second one is 7, it's gonna still print out the biggest odd number. If there is no odd number at all, like this, there is no odd number. So that's all from for exercise 2. We can continue to exercise 3. In the exercise 3, I'm gonna not explain this because we already explained it in the previous exercise. So we're just gonna jump into the into the main code. Okay, so we're gonna put three variable in here because we need to input three number. So yeah, this is the input for the three number, and we're gonna check which one is the biggest one. So in here, if A equals or larger or equal than B and E, and A is bigger or same like C, so we're gonna print the biggest number is A.
And the nested if b is equals or bigger than a and b equals or bigger than c, it will print out the biggest number is b. And the last if c bigger or equal to a and c bigger or equal to b, the biggest number is c.
You can check the code. Let's just say 13, 23, and 5. It's gonna print 23 because B is larger than A and B larger than C. That's all for exercise 3. We're gonna move to exercise number 4.
Okay, so in exercise 4, we will input three integer number that can we say A, B, and C. First, we're gonna print out, uh, we're gonna input insert number 1. After that, after the user input number 1, it will convert it into A. And so do like B and C. Okay, and then after that, we're gonna check it if A modulo 2 is equal to 0 and B modulo 2 equal to 0 and C modulo 2 equal to 0, it will print out there's no odd number or all of the inputted number is even number.
So the next one is if the A modules 2 not equal to 0, which means it's odd, and A is bigger than B and C, it will print the biggest odd number is A. Or B equals to 0 and A equals not to 0 and A bigger than C, it will print out A is the biggest odd number, or C equals to A, C is even number. Same like B and C. This same
Pattern.
condition we put for the three variable. Like we can check the code if it's working or not. Let's just say we're gonna put all the variable is odd number. Okay, so 3, 79, and 6. I mean 5. So it's gonna print out the biggest number because uh, 75 not module 2 is not equal to 0 and it's bigger than 3 and 5. How about there is an even number between them? Let's say 4, 6, 7. So the biggest odd is 7 because it checks that A is not it's not
Number
an odd number and
6 is
6
also
are
not.
also not an odd number. So the only odd number is 7. The program will print out 7.
What
Like,
is all of them is even number.
okay, we can check that. So let's just say all of the variable is an even number. Oh shit, it's gonna print. It's a mixed click, but it's not a problem. So the program checks all of the three match the condition required to print this. There's no odd number because A no, module 2 equals to 0, B module 2 equals to 0, so on. So yeah, that's for exercise 4. We can jump to exercise 5. In here we have integer n, max, a, and c. What is it? C is about is for the counter. Max is for the max is the biggest number. So n is the input that user put into the program. So this is the input for the n. We're gonna do the looping while n, which is the the number that we have to put in the program. Let's say 4, we need to input 4 number. So while n is bigger, it's smaller than c. So we're gonna print out num sin a, which is we're gonna ask the user to put variable a.
And if a uh,
It's a positive.
is a positive number or larger than 0, then we wanna check it again. Does max does a bigger than max or not? If yeah, if a bigger than max, then we're gonna insert a into max. Then the counter will plus 1, and so go on back to the looping.
So I there's a detail here. The if max if the condition this is I mean this is if this the C++ is outside this if, so whether is it whether a is bigger or smaller than max, the counter will continue to go up. So if else is the user put any negative, it will continue the looping, which is it start from here. So when the counter is, when the user put a negative number, the counter doesn't go up because it goes into here, which is no, not no code for in C++. And the last code is the biggest number is max. We can know the code first. Uh,
We're gonna input first number is 12.
banyak sekali. Let's say 5 number.
Yeah.
You're gonna put 5 number. So well, the program will check which one is the biggest number from 5 number. So the program will check is the biggest number is 9. Why this is 6 time the program asks for a input 6 times because this is the user put a 0 in this. So the program will not count it into the program because it's not executing the C++ code. Okay. So I think that's it for exercise 5. We're gonna move to exercise 6. So we're gonna continue to exercise 6. In here, we have 5 variables for integer. We have n, max, a, c, and I. Max stand for the maximum. I think I like to call it max. So is the maximum number. It's gonna stand out for the sum of odd number. I is the how many numbers of the odd number, and n is the how many number is gonna user put into the program. So here,
Okay, then we're gonna continue. This is for the line 10, line 4. We're gonna initialization first. C, uh, for 0, we're gonna insert it into C. So the value of C is 0. And then check, does C uh, lower the less than n? If yes, then we're gonna print out insert number, and then the user will input the number, and uh, the number that the user input will gonna uh, insert it into A, and then we got the C will plus 1.
so after the user put a into the variable, we're gonna check if a module 2 is not equal to 0, or it's mean odd number. If it's odd number, then we're gonna uh, put it into the sum. Max equals max plus a. Max, uh, the first value of max is 0, so a plus max will a, and I plus plus y, because it's gonna count that there is one odd number inserted by the user. So, and then it's gonna check again if c is still less than n. The program will continue to be executed until the c is met. This requirement is met for the loop to end. After it ends, the results gonna print in here. The numbers of the odd number will be I, how many I is executed. And the sum of the odd number is max. This is it. So we're gonna check it first.
Okay, we're gonna do like 3 number, and then the first number we're gonna input 2, and then the second number is minus 3, and then the last number we're gonna do 5. Okay, the number of odd number is 2. Yes, and there is 2 odd number I input. There's minus 3 and 5. And the sum of the odd number is 2, because minus 3 plus 5 is equals to 2.
Okay, that's it for exercise 6. We're gonna continue to exercise 7.
Okay, first, on this exercise, on this task, there is 5 input. There is I, n, max, average, and min. We're gonna initialization first for max, min, and average, and n into 0. After that, we're gonna do something.
After that, after the initialization, we're gonna use do while why, because in this problem we need to execute at least one program before we check if it's the condition meet to break the loop. So we're gonna do cout insert number I will be the number that user will put. We'll check if I bigger than 0, or it's a positive number. If it yes, then we're gonna put it into average plus I, and n plus 1. Why? We're gonna explain it later. And after we execute both of this program, we're gonna check it again if I bigger than max. For now, max is equal to 0, so yes, max will be value of max will be I, because it is now bigger than max. After this condition, after this if is closed, we're gonna check it again if I less than min or min equals to 0. I mean, if min equals to 0, that means it's still the smallest number. So we're gonna put I into min 2. So after all of this condition is executed, the if is closed, and After that, we're gonna check if I is greater than 0. Why? Because the program will stop if the user put let's say if the user put a negative number, the program will stop, and all of the number is all of the number that user has been put before they put a negative number will be printed out, like the average, which means average is all of the sum of the number that user put divided by n, how many number that the user put. After that, we're gonna print out the biggest number is max and right, the smallest number is mean, right, and the average number is average. Let's execute first. So let's say I'm gonna use 5 number, insert number, uh, maybe 10, 3, 5,
-1.
-1. So the program will be stopped because I use a negative number. After I use the negative number, the biggest number is 10. Why? Because 10 is the biggest number. The smallest number is 3 because it's, yeah, it's the smallest number. And the average of number is 5. Why? Because 5 plus 5 plus 10 plus 5, 20, and 23. 23 divided by 4, it's actually 5.0 because I use integer. That's why there's no, how do I say, point. So point number in below apa?
Column.
Yeah,
There's no column.
yeah, that's why. So I think that's enough for exercise 7. We're gonna continue to exercise 8.
Okay. In this task, we're used to input there's n and I, and this is in this task also we use do while. First, we're gonna print out insert a non-negative number, so the user must inserted a negative number, and then what the number that the user insert, it will inserted into n.
So while if the user keep putting a negative number, the program will keep asking until the user put a positive number. If the user put a positive number, then for will be executed. First initialization integer I equals to 1, and the condition if I is lesser or equals than n, and this is I plus plus, so the I will be increased, and then we check if n, this number that the user put, the positive one, if n is divided by I and equals to 0, that means it is the factor of the n. Then if it's the factor of the n, this the we're gonna print out what number that divide n will result to be 0, and it will keep continue until I reach the number same as n. So we're gonna test it. Let's say we're gonna search a factor of number 10. So the program will check one if it's a 1 module n 10 module 1 is equals to 0. Yes, it's gonna print out. 2, if 10 module 2 equals to 0, yes, then it's gonna print it again. 3, if 10 module 3 equals to 0, no, it's gonna ignore it and continue the loop, increase the I, which means 4, no, still no, and so on until all of the condition is met. I think that's enough for number 8.
Okay. For the exercise number 9, we're gonna use three input. There's n, I, and r. First, we're gonna initialization for r equals to 0. And then we're gonna use do while, where on the first, on the line number 8, we're gonna asking for the user for insert a non-negative number. And after that, the number that inserted will be insert into n.
Okay, same as before. For this time, we're gonna put how many factor that this number have. So same like before, but the this one it's gonna put r plus plus because it's gonna think like, oh, this one is a factor, so there's this number have one factor, and so on and so on until it's this condition is met, and the last program is print out how many factor that this number have. So for example, let's say uh, how many factor does number 8 have? This number have 4 factor. We can prove it with the previous factor. So let's move to the previous exercise first. Number 8, does it have 4 factor like it said like from the exercise 4, exercise 9? So yes, number 8 has 4 factor. Same like, oh shit, this is same like this exercise. So I think that's for my exercise 9. We're gonna move to exercise 10.
Okay. On this exercise, we use well, integer 9 and prime boolean number equals to 0, equals to true. And then we're gonna do while, where the program will asking the user for answer a non-negative number, and after that the number, if the user input a negative number, it will insert it into n.
And then after we check the number if bigger is bigger than 2, we're gonna put 4 in this. Why? Because we're gonna check the does this number can be divided with a number before this number. I mean, let's say 10. If is 10 can be divided with any number below it, let's say 1, 2, 3 until 9. So we're gonna put this code for that, and we're gonna check it if n modulo I equals to 0. If it's yes, then is it not a prime number? So prime will be false. After that, after this, all of this code is executed, we're gonna check it again. If prime equals still be true, then gonna print n is a prime number. Else, or the prime is false, n is not prime number. We can check it right now.
Okay. First, we're gonna check with number 2. Yes, and that is true. 2 is a prime number. And then we try another number. Let's try with 6. And yes, 6 is not a prime number because 6 modulo with 2 is equals to 0.
Let's say number 7. 7 is a prime number. Why? Because 7 cannot be divided by 2 until 6. So I think that's all from us for this assignment. Thank you very much. See you next time. Thank you, sir.
See ya.
Bye bye.
Bye.